The word 1,000-miler is a word we give to describe a 1,000-mile bicycle ride, or otherwise put 1,600 kilometers in distance. It all started back in 2016 when we conceived an unsupported bicycle race from the great city of gold, Johannesburg in South Africa, all the way to the beautiful mother city of Cape Town in the southwest of the country. It so happened that the distance of the race conceived was 1,600 kilometers, more or less, and so we just thought we'd call it the 1,000-miler. The 1,000-miler was hosted by Andy Masters' Massive Adventures, but in 2020 died a horrible death at the hands of COVID lockdowns and never returned after that. So in 2021, we decided to replace it with an informal challenge, a more flexible challenge, which could be ridden at any time along a fixed route by riders when it suited them. And it was called the Joburg to Blouberg 1,000-miler. It was introduced to the world and ridden for the first time by John Luce and Paul Erasmus. It was initially meant to be unsupported meaning that you're not allowed any outside support or to meet any supporters as such along the route while riding, that you would only make use of commercially available services along the route, and that would be commercially available services other than transport, just before you get any ideas. Simon Rollo, just after April 2021, when John and Paul rode it, Simon Rollo came along and set what is still the fastest known time at time of making this video. He went under 5 days to Cape Town, and Nikki van der Walt became the first lady to ride it in June 2022. But 2.5 years later, it was time for change. There was only one route, and it got a bit dull riding down the same route and watching people ride down the same route. And we thought, why not just have routes all over the place? And so the Miler Club was born, the idea being a bikepacking community keeping with the 1,000-miler theme, or multiples thereof, should I say. If you don't like a 1,000-miler, ride 2,000 milers, ride 3,000 milers, and if you've got nothing to do, really, ride 4,000 miles or more. But have multiples thereof, or for those who only have a weekend to ride something extreme, ride a quarter-miler, 400 kilometers or 250 miles. You can be back at the office by Monday. The idea was to have fun, challenging ourselves, riding these different routes. If you want to stick to the unsupported guidelines and principles, knock yourself out. You want to ride supported, that's also okay. But the idea was to have fun, mapping new rides. If you don't like the routes on offer, choose your own and introduce it to us, and we'll watch on the dot and on the satellite tracker and watch the video footage and the photographic material that you hopefully provide us with, and we'll see the country virtually while you see the country in reality. The first alternative route to follow was the Western Cape 50 Passes 1,000-miler. This was introduced and ridden by John Luce and Becky Stans in December 2023. And at the time of making this video, the Parile Cup, from Parys in the Free State, just south of Gauteng to Cape Town, was waiting to be ridden. The whole Miler Club setup it's not an event. These rides are not events. There is no organization by the organizers of the Miler Club along the route. Riders take full responsibility for their own rides, for their own logistics, and getting out of there if they get into trouble. This is merely a cycling community aimed at having fun, finding new routes to ride, watching each other's rides, and applauding where great things are done. But it's not about races, it's not about events, it's just about having fun together.